Join me today for another BattleTech book review, this time Shrapnel #1. This is the Geek Cabal channel. If you've not been here before, my name is Bobbie, and today we're going to be talking about BattleTech Shrapnel #1. This is the official BattleTech magazine. Now, I'm not going to lie, whenever I first ordered this, I thought it was an actual, like regular coffee table style magazine, and not basically the same dimensions as the novels. Now, this one is shorter. This is #1, and they're up to number 20 something. I don't know. I think they're 25 maybe. And it's a compilation of like short stories and some of the things we're going to mention here in a minute. This one's 165 pages, so they are shorter than the novels. And these are not all of the authors, but they'll put some of the authors here on the front. Like this one mentions Michael Stackpole, Blaine Lee Pardoe, Kevin Killiany, and Craig A. Reed Jr. So as I finally got around to reading this, I think I bought this one last year at Gen Con, maybe, or off of Amazon a while ago. I also have issue #2. So I wasn't aware exactly what the format was. It wasn't until I really started reading it not too long ago that I realized how it all kind of worked. And so basically what you have here is you have short stories. There's one that's a part of a series, the first part, which I think have been collected elsewhere now. There's a couple things for the tabletop game. There's a few like 1 or 2 page like news report kind of things, and it's various content like that. So as I was reading it, I began to realize that I had to make a choice on how I was going to do the review for this. I didn't want to do a review for each short story. Like, I know this is YouTube, and I could have easily made like 6 videos off of this, but I think it's just going to be better if I just make the one. So I'm just going to kind of go through here and mention the specific stories and the authors, and just kind of talk a little bit about each one and what I thought of them. So the first one is Grim Sentence by Chris Hussey. And as I was reading this, I also have this digitally because this is from the Clan Invasion Kickstarter. And I realized that I had actually read this first story, but I wasn't sure I read it all the way through and couldn't remember it. So I kept like going in and out of what I could remember from it. No fault of the story or anything. This is set during the Clan Invasion on the planet Oberon 6, and talks about Clan Wolf showing up and taking over, and the people who were in charge not being overly cool with that, and ultimately plotting to take control again and rebel, and not realizing what they're up against. And I don't know much about the Oberon Confederation, so I don't know what of this goes anywhere elsewhere, but it does leave it open for more at the end, which is kind of insight into that. It's a decent story. Not very long. Let's see, page 27. Started on page 6, about 21 pages, And then the next one, Secrets of the Sphere, the Cameron Question. And this is just a little spiel. It's like 3 pages. And this has to do with if there's a Cameron heir out there and what it would mean. And this is by Michael Ciaravella, who's gone on to write some other books, some other full-length books, which I thought were good. Now, The Flames of Idlewind by Blaine Lee Pardoe was interesting. This one was about, like Paul Moon was one of the main characters, who I've read 2 other books that Pardoe wrote involving him. This is about the Smoke Jaguars, and one of the planets they take along the invasion corridor. And I thought it was a decent story. I don't think it's necessarily Pardoe's greatest or anything, but it's a short story. So, this is like I said, it's about Paul Moon. So, I believe this is the one. Some of the people I'm trying. Unfortunately, I read this one like really early on because I read it in order. This is where I think some of the people get a little disillusioned because they see that there is potential honor among some of the spheroids, but they're having to just destroy them. So then, let's see. We've got Forgotten Heroes, Slandered Honor by Patrick Wynne. It's just like, it's 2 pages. Just some, the Terran Legion newsletter, 3096. So it's about, people that have fought some of the various wars. This will be post-jihad. So there's a little bit of stuff about Stone and the clans and stuff like that. And they're just various commentary from soldiers. Heirs Above the Ground by Jason Hansa. This was the story I thought was the best one in the book. This is in the Ghost Bear invasion corridor in 3050, so during the clan invasion. This is a planet that the Ghost Bears have taken, and it shows them trying to integrate certain parts of the planet into the Ghost Bears. Talks about how they found a lot of the local police forces, they don't care who's in charge, and the law is basically the same. They just might have like a clan liaison for certain things. They just want, to keep doing their job. But it also has a bondswoman with the main commander, and it involves some things with her family, and it had just some interesting moments to remind us that the clanners are still human, no matter what has been tinkered with genetically. Like the main clanner is in awe of the fact that her bondswoman's father has been to Earth multiple times, because that's the clan's ultimate objective. And that he is raising horses that are, I think they were Lipids owners, who were brought from Earth. So they're from a recognized bloodline, and one of the only few that's not on Earth. And so it's a piece of Terran history right there, and just the work he did on genetics and everything. And she's trying to convince him to join the scientist class, essentially. And so it's that, and then some very tragic things happen in the story, and the main clan character is forced to deal with a new situation, a new assignment, and kind of similar to one of Pardoe's books, where we see the clan members put into a situation where they're forced to face humility and face aspects of humanity they never thought they'd ever had to face, being in the, since they thought they were going to die in the cockpit of a mech, probably. And I like stories like that, where the clanners are forced to realize that maybe the whole warrior thing isn't all it's cracked up to be, and that there is a life worth living beyond that. So I that's why, it's a lot of why I thought this was a good story, and it's real well written too. So, and it's a little bit long. And then we have a section. The section by Craig Erie Jr. is about sniper rifles, and this seems to be for the game, and it talks about the various, what rifle does the Capellans use, what does the Free World League use, the Lyran Commonwealth, all these guys. And they mention that the clans don't actually make their own sniper rifles because they think it's dishonorable. And then we have Yesterday's Enemy by Lance Scarinci. And this involves the Battle of Luthien during the clan invasion, when several mercenary groups showed up to hold the line sent by, I think, Victor Steiner Davian. And one of them is the leader of the Crescent Hawks, who has a grudge against, I think it's Takashi Kurita. And so he's not just there to try to help. He's there to kill Takashi if you can find him. And, you know, some things happen, and, you know, story kind of moves from there. I thought it was well written. It helped if I knew more about the Battle of Luthien and like the background of the Crescent Hawks, because I have not read novels from this era. So I've got the feeling that I'm missing like some critical stuff. Or maybe it's already here in the story. It's hard to tell, but it is well written. And like a lot of these are a lot of the ones in this are set during the clan invasion. Then we've got a 2-page thing about the Duke Tancred Sandoval's missing Duke Spurs demonstration. It's about a protest while one of the Sandovals is seemingly missing. Then we have Michael Stackpole's story, If Old Acquaintance Be Forgot, a Kellhound story, part 1 of 4. Part 2 is in the next issue. This is the story that I think is collected elsewhere now, and this is set in 3010, so this is well before the clan invasion. This involves Morgan Kell and his, I'm assuming, eventual wife, Veronica. She gets kidnapped and is trying to find her, and so it's, you know, centers around that. I am interested to see where the story goes, and again, I don't know a lot about this time period, so for all I know, he never marries her, but I assume he does. Then we have Unit Digest, Eridani Light Horse, 11th Recon Battalion, again by Michael Ciaravella. And this is about part of the Eridani Light Horse and how they survived the various levels of destruction that the unit went through, and where they are now and what they're up to. And I assume now being the Dark Age timeline, but I could be mistaken. So, and then Tales from the Cracked Canopy, Blind Arrogance by Craig A. Reed Jr. This is about the end of the Waco Rangers, or at least a version of them. So this takes place in 3090. This is on Solaris 7 in Solaris City. Solaris 7 is where the mech gladiatorial arenas are that people bet on. It's in the Lyran Commonwealth. And so it's about an old soldier from the old Waco Rangers comes into this bar and trying to drown his sorrows, tells the bartender about what ultimately made him leave the unit and when he feels the unit really died. Although, again, I know I'm missing some context. They apparently limped on and truly died later on outreach. And he's got like his old unit patch, and they've got a wall there at the bar where they've got a bunch of souvenirs, and the guy leaves it, and the bartender puts it up, and kind of touching story, you know, about arrogance and not letting past grudges die and almost getting killed because of them, things like that. So it's good. Mother of Resistance, Dead on Vipava by Patrick Wynne. And this is another just like 1-2 page thing about a terrorist being taken out in the Ghost Bear Dominion. Then we have a Chaos Campaign scenario, Target of Opportunity. This is about Alexi Holt and Tucker Harwell. So this is part of the backstory to that you need to know for Voidbreaker as far as trying to restart the HPG grid. So I don't know anything about how the Chaos Campaign works. I didn't actually read through this, but I did recognize what the battle was over because I remember the book. So then we have Wars and Rumors by Kevin Killiany, and this is in the Galatean League. This is in 3149. Now this involves a mercenary unit who is partially composed. Oh no, sorry, it's not about that one. That's the last one. No, I take that back. This is that one. The mercenary unit is partially composed of people from Clan Wolf. I think some of them from the Steel Wolves. And basically, in the build-up for the push for Terra, Alaric Ward has sent emissaries out to get these people back. And so it's about some background and them being moved around because of having to fight the Falcons and then potentially having to fight the other wolves. And then a guy shows up and is like, hey, so you need to come and rejoin the Wolf Crusade here because we're making the move on Terra soon. And some things related to that. This one is decent. Not my favorite of the book, but it was decent. I didn't think any of the stories in this were bad. I thought they were all pretty good. They all read pretty quick, again, except for that first one, because I kept trying to remember what I'd already read in it. And I didn't like having to read it a second time. But yeah, overall, liked all the stories. Like I said, I thought the one about the Ghost Bear planet being absorbed in the Ghost Bears in the Invasion Court, I thought that was the best story. But overall, definitely recommend it. You know, if you want a bunch of short stories, I do have the second issue. I'm going to be reading it. I don't know if it's going to be the next book I read. I'm probably going to read Letter of the Law next. But I'll try to get around to that soon because I blew through this one pretty quickly. I'll probably go through it pretty quickly. And then see about getting some other issues. Because like I said, they're into the 20s now. So maybe I'll wait till Gen Con, because last year they had them on sale, buy two, get one free. And I'll see if I can grab a whole bunch of them then. But anyway, I'd recommend it. If you backed I think it's the Clan Invasion Kickstarter, you probably have this in digital format. If you are looking to buy a physical copy, there will be Amazon affiliate links below for the book. And presumably the PDF is also on there. I don't know if this has an audiobook. If it is, the link will be to that too. But yeah, that's all I've got to say on this one. So let me know down in the comments if you've read this one. It's been out for a little while. Let's see here. Yeah, copyright 2020. So it's been out for a little while. These don't come out monthly, but I think like every other month maybe. And there's some double-sized issues in there too. So, yeah, I think the format overall looks pretty good. Like I said, I've got to get some others, check them out. So, but let me know if you've read this one or plan on reading this one, etc., down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Sharing and commenting would help us grow the channel. We always appreciate it. Subscription's obviously the name of the game here on YouTube. But that's all I've got to say on this one. So just remember, no guts, no galaxy.